on the screen there. That is Aaron Ye, the 7-dan prodigy here. He has just been moving up the ranks like nobody's business. You just missed, actually, it was pretty great right before I turned on the camera here. Ishan Zhou, the first round opponent you saw there, commenting that this is apparently the 3rd or 4th lunch that Aaron Ye has eaten. And it's, he's a growing kid, so I remember back in those days I could have like 3 dinners. Anyway, Aaron Ye against Mark Lee, board 1. Again, this is a slaughter pairing, so until anyone knocks Mark Lee off the top spot, it's going to be all Mark Lee on board 1 all the time. So, Mark Lee versus Aaron Ye. Second board is going to be Evan Cho versus Daniel Liu. That'll be great. Third board, Danny Ko versus Matt Burrell. Again, everybody who we are hearing play here is still undefeated. They are all 3-0. So by the end of the next round, we should have no more 3-0s left. Is that right? No, just those top 2 boards are 3-0. The next 4 boards are all 2-1. So Matt Burrell versus Danny Ko are both 2-1. Danny Ko picking up his first defeat earlier today against Vincent Zhuang by half a point. So this is going to be pretty exciting. Hopefully when they're done eating, we will be ready to get going. So thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, click right after.
I can see you jumping down. A little bit later, I jumped up and down too. Yeah, our table was going to
Little bit. I'm getting hammered against the level 9.
All right. Okay. Okay, you folks see on your screen there, people are trickling in. We're getting ready to go. We've got the round 3 pairings up. It is very hot upstairs. Down here in the auditorium, they've got the air conditioning running full blast. It's the lower floor, very chilly. I'm wearing a jacket. Upstairs, no such luck. Heat rises. They are having a sweltering time out there. So it's going to be interesting to see if that heat is a factor. There's some folks who mentioned this interfering with their concentration. Personally, I would find the massages to be a little bit more interfering with my concentration, but it's just me. So Aaron, it looks like he's finished his lunch. Second lunch? Moving right along. I don't have updates on the other boards, but I can tell you that our undefeated people right now are Mark Lee, Aaron Ye, Daniel Liu, who I have not met Daniel. This is the first I've heard of Daniel Liu. And Evan Cho. So Evan Cho and Mark Lee are headed for a face-off next round if they both win this game as they are expected to do. Again, this is a fold pairing, so odds are good that we will have only one undefeated player after 5 rounds. After 4 rounds. And what are they going to do for the 5th round? That's a good question. So, and then board 3, Matt Burrell versus Danny Ko. Those two have met several times. I think Danny Ko usually gets the better of Matt, but you know, again, Matt's been studying with Milan, so Jeremy Chu is playing Norman Tsai. Norman Tsai just beat the crap out of me.
All the information you need. And the Kane says 3 games before.
Not even a week ago. My wounds are still.
I told him in case you haven't already.
And then below that, we've got a Seattle son. He's a very strong player.
Yeah, his game starts at 8. According to the schedule.
Half-point win.
That's all I got to do. I can do this.
And then below that, we've got Stephen Hu is playing Ishan Zhou. They're both probably 1 and 2 so far. So we hope that those guys have some good games. And then, yeah, that's our update on the open section. So stay tuned. There's Dennis Wheeler, Chris Garlock, milling about.
taking this equipment,
Just
taking
walking
this
left, right,
equipment
pushing
back
it
to the
down.
hotel with you.
Oh yeah.
And then what time will you be here tomorrow?
We will return.
We'll talk about Corey.
For I will.
Well, I will take the. What will I take? I will take the laptops. I will take the laptops and the splitter.
Okay.
Maybe I'll leave the splitter.
It should be fine. It's a fairly inexpensive one. You can just take it.
That's like $50. Yeah. It got down for that thing. Radio Shack 2 years ago. I had to walk all the way uptown to get that stupid thing.
Really?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I could probably just leave that here. They got good security. I just don't want to leave laptops.
They really do that.
Yeah, so we'll just pack up the laptops from there. Everything else we'll just leave it as is.
Okay.
In fact, you know what? We'll do that. The guy's okay? Okay. We're looking. All right. So we're game recorders. We always win.
Yeah. All right, so you're set up. You got everything you need.
I'm good.
You got it.
Wait.
How do you got it? I got it. Oh wait, I get it now. Let me go again. I get it. So top anyone get one? Yes. So you get one. I get it now. Why is this your
Also, with these few players. Actually, this is good.
So as you can hear on the audio, you can probably make out the in clocks that have started their times. We are still waiting for Mark and Aaron to take their seats. Markley has white, so he is in the wrong chair, or he will be playing this game backwards. Hopefully it is the latter. Nope, the former. Either way, something backwards probably me. Here he is. He's walking around the table. He will sit on the right side. Thank goodness. You know, you do all you can. You set the boards, you set the bowls in the right place, you try and get everything in the right place. The players will still come on and they just do whatever they want. It's just a thing that happens. So, hi, Aaron. We see you. He's waving to the camera. I think this is his first game. He's 13, 14, 12? I have no idea how old this kid is. But old enough to beat me at Hang on, I'm getting a dispatch. Anybody could be old enough to beat me. Go. All right, so I guess we're ready to go when they're ready to go. Chris Garlock finally getting my message to please adjust the microphone gain volume down. Let me hear how that sounds.
Test 1 2 1 2.
Test 1 2 1 2. That's a bold play from Chris. I was expecting maybe just test 1 and test 1. He got all the way to 2. It's kind of amazing.
Black time counting begin. 牌坊开始计时。
And we're off. Aaron going with the very conventional 2, 3, 4 points. We'll see how Mark plays now that the foo is on the other ship. Or the shoe is on the other foot, if you prefer. Two stars. 2 stars against parallel 3 4s. Classic enclosure. No micro Chinese shenanigans happening here. High approach, high approach. I think we're going to say high approach. If you're just joining us, thank you. This is the 3rd round of the 2015 Cotsen Open, where the players are competing for one of the largest purses in North America outside of the Congress. I think it's $1,000 for grand prize. Here we go. So far, so normal. High approach with the attach. And what is that? We're leaving the Joseki unfinished and just going to go Tanuki down to the lower right. Are such things possible? Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Aaron personally does seem to be about 3 or 4 inches taller than when I saw him last in August. So, you know, kids, what are you gonna do? Wow, the attachment probe. Is this a standard Fuseki so far? Seems normal. Up to white to turn that attachment into a good move. Ah, making a nice shape on the top. Very smart. There's no pro commentary this round. You're stuck with me. I will shut up as the game gets slightly more complicated. But for now, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Who do you think's going to win? I want to hear who you guys think is going to win. You think Mark Lee's going to do it? Aaron, his current rating is 7.5. Mark Lee's rating is a 9.96. He is no lower 10 Dan. He is only 9.96. So that right there, if you just go by the rating, Aaron's in for a fight. However, Aaron's trajectory, right up. Mark sandbagging at 9 Dan. That's quite a question asked by Robert T. in chat. No, Mark is not sandbagging at 9 Dan. AGA ratings go up infinitely, but ranks only go to 7 Dan. Mark Lee, 7 Dan. Mark Lee's rating, almost 10 Dan. We have trusty assistant Dennis there moving the camera, trying to catch the elusive Mark Lee in the frame. It's not easy. These Go players are wily. Remains to be seen how much we'll be able to get both players in the shot at the same time. But rest assured, we are trying our best. It's interesting how Aaron wasted no time whatsoever in invading the top. That 3-space extension from the 3rd to the 4th line. So far, this is par for the course, except the E17, D17 exchange already there. Should make connecting a little more difficult for black than it usually is. Very curious how Aaron's going to get himself out of this. Looks like it'll probably be a small life with white getting a lot of influence. Best case scenario. I think this is one of the masseuses looking on. Although I can't recognize her from the camera. So. You might ask, why does the Cotsen Open feature masseuses? I couldn't tell you. Looks like black's already in a tough spot. Tricky already. We'll keep checking in. Yes, black can connect underneath, but it looks like that will do a lot of damage. Very painful. Not to mention it'll give white K17 incente. It does also look like somebody has bumped the table rather substantially. I hate when that happens. I'm not sure why I'm having these lag issues. I will see what I can do. My guess is that something is eating up some CPU here. If I don't have... It's amazing. Everything is running completely maxed out to get this show off the network here. And so if something is causing some additional CPU usage, I'm seeing some lag. Not sure what's doing that, but see what I can do. Alright, we'll return in a moment. We're going to see if we can get that camera straightened out slightly. But with the players playing, we may not have a lot of options here. Which would you guys rather we had? Would you rather we had the coordinates by a slightly tilted board or a straight board? Make your choices in the chat now. I love this Tsuji. Nobody has voted for either of them, so I'm going to stay down here and deal with the tilted board because it lets me say things like that this cut at d16 is amazing. What it does is it basically means that white will be able to play h14. If black comes out with e15, white can Atari the new cutting stone from the bottom, push it out in a ladder, and then grab those two stones on the outside. It's great. I love it. I love it. Great little move. If Aaron wants to maximize things by extending at e15, he has to put up with losing a step on the fight on the outside. It's great. Vote for auto-adjusting coordinates. All right, well, I'll go see what I can do. Thank you, Brady, for casting a vote. You'll get your way. Hey folks, I have some answers to some of your questions. Indeed, there is no commentary from young one here. He had a lesson he had to go teach, so he is not currently present. Let me see here. We can now fix at least one part of this. It's a little more square now, right? Yeah, we like it. We'll keep it. As for Norman's scores and XU98, Norman and XU, I believe that XU is 1 and 2. Although, let me see if I'm doing this right. 2 3 and O's, 2 2 and 1s, 2 1 and 2s. Oh no, looks like XU is 0 and 3. So XU might be 0 and 3 so far. He's a 5 dan playing in an open section that goes up to nearly 10 dan. So he's been having a tough game so far. Is that right? No, that would be, well, how's binomial expansion? Somebody help me out here. Is it going to be 2 3 and O's, 2 0 and 3s, and then 4 each of 1 and 2 and 2 and 1? Does that add up? No, that's too many. 2 3 and O's. Yeah, 2 of each. 2 2 2 2. Makes sense. So, by that logic, Norman is 1 and 2, and Stephen is 0 and 3. This is just my going from how the pairings look and knowing that the pairings are a fold pairing. That's not authoritative. I haven't actually seen the results, so don't take that as the gospel truth. Right here, looks like Aaron is thinking quite a bit over how to respond to that cut. It's quite an asking move. I love it. I got my popcorn. Nom nom nom. with this Tanuki, the local fighting on top has come to a close. And sure enough, as we may have predicted, black is living small on top, while white has some fairly substantial influence over the rest of the board, which probably explains white's choice of pincher here after the slide. The standard Joseki here after black takes the corner is another one that emphasizes influence there on the outside. So again, so black's 6 or 7 points on the top. Remains to be seen whether or not that will end up being worth giving white the influence on the outside. He also still has some Aji potential to run out that cutting stone, but it looks to me as if that may be getting into an uphill fight fairly early on. So, but of course, with that to look forward to, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad result for black. So here's that Joseki I was talking about. Black will take the corner after white hanes. Black blocks, white hanes, black hanes again, white cuts, black connects. They're going to play this fairly quickly. And after this, the ladder does not work, so white is going to need to extend up rather than gripping the stone here. Still, this seems to cooperate very nicely with the formation along the top. Very curious to see how Aaron's going to handle this board that is looking increasingly white in the middle. Not to mention, along the top, white was able to get that hane up on the second line there, undercutting black's formation in the upper right, and black had to ignore it. So as far as endgame is concerned, that is not too bad for white either. If he gets the chance to cut off black, then he can look forward to even more jumps into the corner, etc. So very curious what black's going to do. Aaron, of course, deciding he's going to think about it by going for a little walk. We'll just have to wait and see what he gets up to. I can't wait. What do you think? What's the prediction? You think he's going to move out that stone on the bottom? I like approaching the bottom left myself. I would think about approaching the bottom left with the knight's move. It seems like the last remaining big area, and putting something out there is going to make it a little challenging for white. It seems like a white play on the star point on the left side would be fairly big, so black getting out over there first would be pretty nice. But let's go find out. Wow. I did not expect that. I did not expect that lower side approach. So the usual thing here that I would expect is I would expect black's double approach to be high now. But it seems like that two-space high pincher from Mark is ideally situated to prevent black from moving out that cutting stone in the lower right. So, please stick around. We will have, at the end of the game, we will have the winner come down and tell us what their 3 keys to the game were. So Chris Garlock will go over the game with them. They'll come down here and they'll be like, these 3 moves were the most important ones. So stay tuned for that after the game concludes, assuming we don't all vanish for lunch. Wow! So this is a really unusual move, the jump out here. So black just jumped out. And this jump, let's go to the camera. This jump is not usually seen. You go to pswalltheory.net, which will be this index of Fuseki. You see that against the two-space high pincher, it is rare that black jumps out. I feel like a lot of folks know about the jump out and then the slide to the left, slide to the right, Joseki, where you slide into the 3-3 and then you slide under the pincher stone. I don't know how many people appreciate that that's not really played by pros very much anymore, and to the point that they really don't consider it Joseki. So, one of the reasons it does that is that black isn't really left with an ideal shape. So, However, it makes sense in this case because, again, that left side may be less interesting for both sides to try and develop. However, usually when black jumps out, it's because black wants to jump out a third time and then counterpincher the original stone. Kind of hard to counterpincher that original stone given the formation in the lower right. I guess we'll find out. Has decided to go for the slide Joseki. I have almost never seen this. This is very surprising. Very surprising. Wow. Okay, well. How is white going to punish it? Does he have to do anything directly, or can he just let this sort of sit here, extend down the left side, and be happy with his ideal situation there? I don't know. In this case, this choice seems like it might not be too terrible. But what do I know? Just a fact. White playing for influence with the big covering move in the upper right. Very interesting. Seems like fighting spirit practically compels black to cut here. Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Wouldn't you say? Good questions. Good questions. Well, this is getting interesting here, isn't it? My goodness. Over on the right side, we've got this cut. We've got this cut, and white uncompromising descends. After the Hane, block, connect, tiger's mouth. Whew. Black is left having to make some shape on the outside. He's got the extension, which forced the bamboo joint. He plays Atari on the left side, driving white up. But now how do we continue? Black can't just bring that cutting stone out. That one on the top on the 5th line, right smack dab in the middle of the... That would be what? K15? K15? Those of you following along. Can't just bring that one out at K15 without suffering a lot of pain. But he's got to make some sort of viable shape here in the center. Otherwise, those black stones are going to be pretty lonely. I am excited to see what Aaron's planning here. Very excited to see what he's planning. That's Yang Yilun looking on in the background there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Hope you guys are enjoying it. All right, real quick, we're going to bring the stream down right back up again. We're going to see if I can cut down on some of those buffering issues folks are having. So be patient. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Sorry about the little interruption. What did we miss? We missed everything. Oh my gosh. Black chose this moment, rather than protecting up in the top middle, he chose this moment to run out his group along the bottom. So run the group out along the bottom. I'm not sure how he's planning on counterattacking. He could go all out with an attachment on the top. What would that be? That would be J5. That would be J5. Yeah. Whew. Could be J5, but it looks like white has more than enough resources along the bottom to do something here. So he is jumping out. He's going to try and get his weak groups in the middle together. This is going to be tricky. I am very curious to see how Aaron's going to manage this. I'm also curious to see how Mark's going to keep the attack up, because it doesn't immediately look like there's a vital point that suggests itself. So peeping against the bottom makes sense, makes sense. Now what? Now what, now what? So if you're just joining us, this is the third round of the 2015 Cotsen Open. This is Aaron Yee with the Black Stones currently against Mark Lee. Both players are undefeated. Mark Lee with the White Stones, ranked 10 dan. Well, not ranked, rated 10 dan. His ranking is still 7 dan. Aaron Yee also 7 dan. One of the up-and-comers. Both players undefeated so far this tournament. There's only 4 people with undefeated rankings. These two, and then on board 2 we have Evan Cho and Daniel Liu, both 3-0. We're going to be pretty excited to see who ends up facing off in the next round. I noticed that Daniel Liu, actually this is very interesting. Round 3, Daniel Liu is playing Evan Cho. Evan Cho, as we know, has a 9.0 rating. He's seeded second here, maybe the one person who can beat Mark Lee. However, Daniel Liu here, he has a rating of a flat 5.5, which tells me that he is a new player who has never played in the AGA before. He's got this flat, even 5.5 rating. He's also undefeated at 3-0, which makes me think that he took Cho's 5 dan, because 5 dan is the highest rating that you can reasonably claim if you are, say, Chinese. To win 6 dan, 7 dan, you have to actually win a national title. So if this is a fellow from China, this is his first tournament in the U.S., he figures, I can't say I'm 7 dan, so he says he's 5 dan, and now he's 3-0, he's playing Evan Cho. If he pulls an upset off on Evan Cho to face Mark Lee in the next round, that would be pretty exciting. Of course, I'm assuming that Mark Lee pulls this one off, because I do believe that the number of weak black groups on the board make this a fairly favorable position for white. On the other hand, it's not like white has an overwhelming lead in territory. Black does have 3 corners and a good start on a 4th, so anyway, anything can happen. Really looking forward to seeing where this game develops. In particular, that capping move at M9 is just brutal. I think white is giving a object lesson here on how to keep the black groups weak. Is he just going to push through and cut? He is just going to push through and cut. Yikes. Wow. All right. How is Aaron going to handle this? Can't just block. Going to have to find something more creative. Man. I don't think he can give up those 3 stones. I think that'd be too much. So, very interesting, very interesting. Stay tuned. And of course, when I say they are 3-0, I mean they are 2-0, because there have only been 2 rounds. This is the 3rd round. Yours truly, clearly, could use a little bit more coffee. It's freezing down here. It is very hot upstairs, and it is freezing down here. I know that the players have been sort of complaining about the heat upstairs, but the air conditioning is, all one unit. So if it freezes down there, it's roasting up there. I don't know what we do about that. Very curious to hear what happens. Wow, that cut looks devastating. How is black going to handle all these groups? His only hope is to sort of counterattack against the white group on the bottom, but that looks like that is going to be an uphill struggle. Uphill struggle. It is black's move. Black can try just jumping out and encircling, but there's a lot of forcing moves for white along the bottom. Not convinced he can't just break out. Very curious to see how this develops. 2-0. Players are 2-0. Right. I knew that. This is a great little sequence by white. He's aiming at... he has the K5 Atari to be able to capture the stones, just keeping black from just keeping white in like he might want otherwise. So, nice little combination. After white connects and black connects to the right, white can cut to the left, and if black connects, white will win the capturing race after white stands up. Very solid, very solid. Not sure how black's gonna keep all of his stones alive. He has to start running that group out on the side. Not sure what he can do about it. Very interesting. So here it is. This is the exchange. There's the K5 Atari. Black is going to capture. Now white gets to push through and catch those 3 stones with a nice little focus from the camera. I really appreciate that. Not sure why we're having that issue again, but that's great. So black gets some thickness here. The problem is that that thickness maybe isn't going to build anything, and he gave up those 3 on the right. So very curious to see what Aaron is going to be able to do with this pawn nuki he got. It's not a lot of points. In comparison, white picks up 6 points from that for free. So Aaron, he's got to save the other 3 stones that he cut off there along the seventh row. That is just too big. Oh, and white's going to punish him by taking this sente here while he can. It would be very hard to ignore this. It's black. Group that's coalescing here in the middle of the right side is going to have a difficult time finding eyes. Difficult time finding eyes. Not sure where Aaron's going to go for that. Even if it does find eyes, odds are white is going to make some territory on the right. And again, it's tough to see how black ends up with sente out of this, which means white will probably also be the first one to get the big point on the left. Oh, black deciding he can't take time to answer h4, that connecting move. That means that he is basically leaving those stones hanging, and it looks like somebody has hit the computer upstairs, maybe having a little stuttering. That's what I get when I leave things all alone. This is very hard. Whew. This is, wow. Wow. I wonder if black has dreams of attacking that whole group along the bottom. It seems impossible because with the connection at h4, white can attach to that lone line. So the idea of destabilizing that whole white group on the bottom seems a little outlandish. But what do I know? What do I know? Chris Garlock thinking he could sneak a text, stunned back to life by Aaron's rapid play, standing up there. Whew. That's right, Chris, you better put that phone down. Can't miss a move. This is important. I kid. But this seems straightforward, pushing right through. White is coming out, and black is going to be cut to ribbons. Depending on how you count, 2, 3, 4 eyeless black groups. It's not really 4 because white hasn't yet pushed in to cut on the bottom. But goodness gracious, how is black possibly going to manage them all? Okay, giving up that little diagonal bump there in the middle in exchange for turn. Which means we are still looking at luxury of an unworried attack in the middle. Those 3 stones in the middle coming out of the bottom, I am not sure how you put them under some pressure. Even if black tries a double hane here, it seems like it is just too easy for white to make a reasonable shape, then turn around and cut on the bottom and make a dumpling out of that group. Tasty, tasty dumplings. Not to mention that if that black group gets cut off on the bottom, that attachment on the bottom left gets even more dire. So we'll see. So are we going to see the double hane? I figured we'd see the double hane, but maybe black figures he can't go that far. No, you got a double hane here, right? Right? You gotta. You gotta. We get all Shia LaBeouf here. Just do it! Come on! Nope, he's thinking. Wow. Ignoring the double hane to just go right ahead and push through on the right side. That is not a move I would have thought of. So black, look at him waving his hand around. How is he going to do this? White seems very confident. If black can catch these white stones, that may have been a very strange move, but wow, does the diagonal move not work for black here? It looks like he should be able to get something. But he's just connecting. Gracious me. He's connecting. He's saying these 5 stones in the middle will live. So how? So how? Someone tell me how. How does it work? Looks to me like that diagonal move at, what is it, J9? Diagonal move here at J9 makes it rather difficult for black to get through. But no, there's that wedge. He's aiming at the wedge. Of course, he's aiming at the wedge. He's wedging. If he wedges here at N8, even though black can capture that stone, when white comes back to play Atari at P6, it is over. So that wedge is a very urgent threat right now, and that explains what we see here. That explains this. And so now, rather than just jump out or do something straightforward, first we're going to defend in an attacking way. Defend by attacking. By cutting off this group and making it a fair fight. We're going to take this group running off with us. So, very interesting. Very, very difficult. On the other hand, it does look like J8 here might work. This is a very interesting question. Chris, why don't you come here, tell me what you think. Come on, come here, tell me what you think. Pull up a chair. Being joined here by Chris Sira, our indoubtable TD. Scoot in, come on in. Tell me what you think is going on here. Alright, so what just happened? What just happened was, wow, I can't even explain what just happened. There it is, there's that extension. It looks like that catches these stones in the middle. Looks like that has Mark Lee wondering. So wow. So how you doing? How's goes the pairing? It looks like every round has started almost exactly on time. By the way, congratulations.
Thank you. So far, so good.
So far, so good, right? So this is a fold pairing we have.
No,
It is not.
No, it's split.
It's a split. What do you mean split?
Top half, bottom half.
Oh, it's a slide. Ah, a split is also called slide? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a slide pairing, which means that after this round, there will be 2 people who are 3-0, right?
Right.
And they will face each other at the end. So can you tell me anything about this guy, Daniel Liu, who's 2-0 also? I see this 5.5, and that makes me think this is his first tournament ever. What do you think?
I'm sure it is.
Yeah?
But too many people to keep track of.
Too many-
What are
yeah,
we,
well, you
148
have had-
at this one.
148. Congratulations.
I had nothing to do with it. Tell Samantha. Tell Eric.
Yeah, well, that's true.
They did a good job.
The whole
preparing for
team
this
here has
one.
been pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. So,
Now, what was the last move?
what was the last move? The last move was White took the co down here.
Oh, water.
White just took the co. Make it a bit bigger there for you. Easier to see.
Now, the real question is, why aren't you playing?
Why am I not playing? It is a great question. Because nobody yet has come to take my job. I'm hoping someone does. Why aren't you playing?
Same thing.
Same answer? Oh, man. That's right. Good TDs are hard to find. Let's see. But yeah, this was a very interesting trade here. Black let these guys get cut off. He's got a bunch of groups just hanging, but it looks like this extension is good enough to cut off these 5 stones in the middle. Not sure what that leaves White, because I would have said that those 5 stones are too big to catch. On the other hand, playing the ko, and if he cuts off that group on the bottom, he will catch the whole bottom with this attachment, right? 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 He can kill that whole lower left corner with an attachment. So if Black just connects here, now White captures. White's still aiming to cut across. No, he isn't aiming to cut across.
Well.
Yes, he is. No, he isn't. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. No, he isn't.
Short on Liberty.
Short on liberties, can't cut across. However, if he doesn't just, if Black connects and White doesn't just capture, oh, he's bringing these out. Black's going after the top. Getting these 5 stones in the middle may be enough for Black to bring this cutting stone out on the top, which endangers the whole White group, right?
I don't know. I think Mark has something up his
You
sleeve.
think he's got something up his sleeve?
I'm pretty sure he does.
He's wearing short sleeves. It's hot up there.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
why it's so hot up there?
I think the air wasn't on earlier.
Is it on now?
I think so.
Oh, they figured it out. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it... Man, I wonder if Mark missed this extension at J8. Not that I would ever say Mark misses anything, mind you. But J8 sure does seem like it sews up these 5 stones in the middle without any trouble. Oof. So, empty triangle, empty triangle. Going for the win. And where does this go? It still looks like this White stones are in some danger. Mark Lee in danger. We haven't seen that yet this tournament. It has been fairly comfortable the whole time. But right now this looks like this could be the first... Oh, you know what? I take back everything I said. I take it all back. I take it all back. So how's the tournament going for you? Is this a good one? Easy one?
Going well.
Excellent? Yeah, going well.
Except for the players who don't report their game results.
Right.
which-
Actually, this is great. You have an audience right now. You have Go players watching right now. What is one thing that they can do as Go players to make the TD's lives slightly easier?
Come here on time.
Show up on time.
Check off your name.
Check off your name.
Talk to me. Tell me that you're here. And report your game results. Although that
Report
last
your
one,
game results. Yeah.
all of these I really don't care about because they affect you. You don't come and see me, you don't play. You
Right.
don't report your game result, you get a loss.
That's a
It's,
good point. That's a good point.
So
Yeah. So if I lost but my opponent doesn't report the game result. No, wait. It's on me to. If I lose, it's on me to report it, right? As the loser.
I would say it's on both of you.
Oh,
I
yeah?
mean,
You gotta
If,
give it and confirm it.
if the winner wants credit for the win, the winner better make sure that he was marked down as
There
the
you
winner.
go. That's right. That's right. Wow.
Oh boy.
Going for the ko. Because bringing those stones out in the middle, that is not just about that white group on the top. That is about the white group in the top left and the top right. Oh, look at Aaron. He's smiling. He's mugging for the camera. He knows. I think he knows he's got a reasonable game here against Mark. He, it's interesting as he's gotten older. When he was a little kid, he would wear his joy on his face fairly directly. Like, if he was beating you, he would let you know that he was beating you. And I think that as he's grown older, he's been a little bit better about hiding that. But that seemed like jubilation, I think I saw there. Jubilation. Huh. This looks like a good forcing move, though. If Mark gets to force black to make life on the top, boom, boom, they're ready to play that exchange. So if he forces black to connect or make life on the top, but he's still alive, because even if Mark blocks, the descent will still be sente to connect. Right? Up on the top. If Mark blocks here, blocks on the second line, what is that, FG2? Then black can descend. That's still sente to connect. And then after that, the hanging connection makes a very big shape. So black is alive, as it stands. Wow. Goodness gracious.
Now, tell me about the hardware, the setup here used.
The hardware and the setup.
To
Oh my
record
God.
this game,
The-
top and side.
The incredibly disappointing hardware that we've had so far today. Let's see. So what we've got is upstairs we have a Linux machine that is running 2 copies of the open broadcasting software. And they are streaming the 2 feeds that you see of the players and the players' board. They are streaming that off to the cloud, that magical place where all of our computers go these days.
Where is the cloud?
In this case, it is, I don't know. It's in US Central -1, whatever that means. So, good question. Probably Iowa? Ohio? I don't know. It's probably confidential. Kentucky. Who knows? No, I don't think it's Kentucky. I think they keep it on the west side because I think they keep it on. Anyway, neither here nor there. So it goes off to there, and then we're downstairs in the auditorium where it is freezing cold. And down here we are pulling the streams off of the cloud, and we are compositing them here on a Windows laptop, which has proven to be a little bit inadequate. I had not accounted for, this is a brand new i7 machine, but it has no graphics accelerator, because my understanding is that most of compression cannot be helped by the graphical acceleration. So what I'm finding, though, is that most of the work is taking the 2 streams. So we're basically taking 2 HD streams and playing them simultaneously, and then also compositing that and pushing it out again. So that's a lot of work for any one computer, but apparently it is that decompression of the other streams where a graphics card would be handy. So we'll see if we can't get that straightened out for the next major tournament. But that's how that's working. We're also trying a new piece of software, XSplit. What has even just happened? Where did white play? What have I missed? Where was black's play? Where did white play before this? Ah, white takes the ko. Black turns around.
Oh boy.
Wow. Wow. It's a squeeze. It's a major squeeze. This is a one-way street. Connect, connect, connect. White's got Hane around on the outside. That is quite a dumpling. What is black going to get for having created such a tasty and delicious dumpling? Now with that squeeze, black's dumpling actually larger than white's. Does that mean black is winning? What do you think? Pro or against?
I don't know.
It's a
It's a
good
good
question.
question.
Makes me ready for dinner, personally. Thinking about dumplings.
No.
So this is a good move here, this extension, just maximizing liberties.
Yeah, as it was before, it made me think of the B-2 bomber, but a cruise missile or something.
Right. It's a B-2 bomber with some extensions. Both players picking up the pace here. Those seem to be a very expected sequence of moves. White looks to be out of trouble. Lived in the top right, and that group on the top left coming out fairly nicely. Shame. I feel like black at some point is going to have to go back and save those 2 stones that are just floating in the middle, keeping those 5 white stones dead. Because if he doesn't, if white gets a chance to grab those 2 stones, now all of his groups are floating again. Right? He comes back, doesn't come back and connect here. This is going to be hard.
Now, what was that left in favor of him? Just jumping in on the game.
What was that
here.
left in favor of? That was left in favor of starting this attack here in the middle, bringing that cutting stone out. Here, let me show you. We'll just do a little rewind. So he leaves that here in favor of bringing these stones out in the top middle. And so far, that seems to be working out. It's not like white's in a big hurry to come capture those 2 stones. On the other hand, wow, good question. Let's see what happened. Was it that one he left? Oh my gosh! Okay, it looks like we have our mystery new Chinese player, Daniel Liu, will not be making it 3-0 to play Mark Lee tomorrow. Evan Cho has beaten him on board 2, so just got word. Evan Cho, 3-0. Will face the winner of this game here tomorrow morning. When's the game start tomorrow morning?
11, I think.
It's whenever you tell us they start, so you can go by fiat here. Whatever you say goes.
This is a call for the tournament organizer.
Oh yeah?
Let's get Samantha in here.
Get Samantha in here now. Alright, that sounds good. If you want. Fine by me. So. Let's see, where are we? It's gone. Gracious, gracious, gracious.
I'm excited for the pro, the simul's tomorrow.
That's
morning.
right. That's right. Tomorrow morning, what's happening is Yang Yilin is playing. Who's he playing? A whole bunch of folks, or he's playing. I thought he was playing someone remotely. He's playing a demonstration game against.
I do not have the details.
Oh yeah. All right. I'll ask Samantha. That's right. You're the. You've got enough to worry about. I don't need to ask you these questions. You got enough on your plate.
Now, how many people are tuned in here? Do you know?
We got a few dozen. Not that many. They come in, they come out, they come, they go. We've had a lot of trouble putting a regular stream out here, so. Also, no offense, but a lot of folks I feel like tuned in to see Myung-Won Kim. He has a lot of interesting things to say about this that, frankly, I do not.
Join the club.
That's right. I was hoping he'd be here to explain it to me. Tomorrow morning, Myung-Won will do the first game, and Jenny Shen will do the last one. So Jenny Shen will do the championship game. So how does this work? It's 5 rounds, right? Not 4?
5 rounds, yeah.
So, but our open is 16 people. So by the end of the 4th round tomorrow, we'll have one person undefeated and a bunch of people at 3-1.
Right, the field is just too small.
Too small.
Unless we
Right.
we jump down to 3 dons and
Right,
you know,
right.
then when you do that slide.
So how do you decide who? So how do we figure out which of the 3-1s gets a crack at the undefeated player?
Let the system do its thing, but it'll be tiebreak related.
Right. So the system will make that decision based on tiebreaks.
Tiebreaks.
So SOS or SODOS
Right,
or
those two, and then-
sauce and SODOS and
Right.
SODOS, sauce. I don't know.
Sauce. Yeah, no.
That is it. Are they pronounced out loud? Like how do tournament directors talk about these things? Do they say sum of scores? Do they say?
No, I would say SOS and SODOS, but
SOS
once
and
it gets
SODOS.
3 or 4 levels deep, it's
It becomes a little unwieldy.
a little bit Inception-like, yeah.
Right, that's right. That's crazy.
Yeah, just too bad that we don't have a field of 32, have the unique winner. But, so many people come and go. Lots of strong players play one day.
And then don't come back the next one.
Right.
Man.
And that's fine. It's not like their opponents are buyed out because we'll do a second check-in.
That's true.
But still, there's no sense in calling it a fixed 32-person open section and then have a lot of buys on the second day.
Good point.
6, 7, 8 dons, they want to play all 5 rounds.
How do you do it, County? Not to mention we'll be counting on camera, which adds plus or minus 10 points of inaccuracy.
Yeah. Guess I have to start figuring out which stones are dead.
Oh, gracious. I feel like these two, I'll start. These two black stones on the right, I am safely going to make the prediction that they are dead at the end of the game. I feel fairly confident about that one.
I don't know. I've seen crazier.
I know, I thought that was a safe bet. All right, let's see. Let's see. Aaron hesitating. What's he worried about? Oh, he's not convinced that the upper left is.
Hanging out, right?
Yeah, it seems that way. But I feel like if he whiffs in Gote here, he is gonna have some troubles. It's a complicated one. Gracious me. Alright, tell you what, let's take a brief break. When we come back, by we take a break, I mean we're gonna take a break. We're gonna leave the camera on these guys so you guys don't miss a move. But we'll see you around. back on. Oh my gosh, there's that extension on the left. How did Mark Lee get to that? We're both sitting here. You're still with. Oh, I'm gonna leave the camera off. It's getting casual back here, but we are vicious. That to me suggests that Black thinks he's behind. I don't think you play like if you think you're doing all right, maybe you don't need to go for the most extreme end game possible.
Black 30 seconds. 5. Time.
Because this right here, this says,
10 seconds.
wow. So there's still some weaknesses with that connection off to the left, right? Those 5 stones still have some aji. But if Aaron is in for a penny, he is in for a pound. How does this work?
Black 30
He is inviting the cut.
time.
No, we're gonna dodge away and peep.
Black 30 seconds. 5.
Aaron won't get too many points out of that black group.
Can't,
Bottom
right?
left.
Oh, you mean the 2 that he's just added stones to?
No.
You mean the
This
one,
guy.
the one in the bottom left there? Oh yeah, that's got to be like 8 points tops, right? Tops, probably more like 6. Let's call it 6. He's not getting that many points on the top either because I believe that capturing the stone that's hanging up on the very top second line, I believe that's Sente, and that's going to force Black to connect. Oh no, I guess Black will get a few points out of that. We'll see. Oh, now Mark hesitating. He wants to just cut that. He is reading it twice. He is making his list. He is checking it twice. Just gonna peep. Just gonna peep. Well, that tells you all you need to know. The cut must not have worked. If the cut had worked, he would have cut. And don't peep where you can cut. It's like
I don't know.
foundation.
If I were playing and my opponent put the stone there, it probably would have worked.
Oh yeah? You think the cut? Oh, I see. If you're holding the black stones, cut works. It does look like there's some aji. He could resurrect the 5 stones if he cuts directly, but he might lose the whole lower left. So I wonder if that's the decision-making process going there. Now, from what we can hear, it sounds like a lot of the games are wrapping up upstairs.
How long have they been going here? 2 hours.
2 hours. Goodness. Goodness. Now, just a reminder, when the game ends, the winner, about whom I am now no longer sure at all, the winner will come on down here and tell us where they thought the game was decided. Chris Garlock's going to come down and ask them what their 3 keys to the game were. So if you want to stay tuned at the end of the game, that's going to be worth catching. We will see. Meantime, it seems like Black gave up a lot with that attachment. Because it looks like that nose to Suji works. For some definitions of works.
10 seconds. Black 30 seconds. 4. Time. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. 25 seconds. 28 seconds. Black 30 seconds. 4. Time. 10 seconds. Black 30 seconds. 4. Time. 30 seconds. 4. Time. 10 seconds. 20 seconds.
This looks like this could be it, folks. cutting across there. Too many places to defend. After this, it looks like white either resurrects his 5 stones in the middle and destabilizes everything, or black loses that group on the left. Between a rock and a hard place. That was a great little sequence there in the upper left, drawing that stone out of Atari, thus making sure that his group would be alive, so he could come back and cut across and leave Aaron on the horns of a very difficult dilemma. Not to mention that if he does resurrect those 5 stones, there is still some cutting Aji around the middle, right around M11. That connection, it's possible black could end up losing a lot of stones in the middle. Even if he does find a way to attack that upper left, probably kill it at this point because it doesn't have anywhere to run. That would be a hell of an exchange. You know, if those 2 stones on the right end up coming back to life that I was so confident would be dead, I would really have to tip my hat to you. Oh, looks like a resignation. Oh, looks like the game has ended. Black has resigned. Thanks everyone for joining us. Stay tuned. In about 5-10 minutes, we'll have Mark Lee down here give us the winner's debrief. And tomorrow morning, 11:30? 11:30? Round 1. 11?
10:30 or 11.
10:30, 11 tomorrow morning. We'll get the schedule updated before they come down here and do their winner's circle. And we'll also see if we can't do the simul game that Yang is doing. We'll see if we can't get that broadcast as well. But no promises there. Either way, we'll update the schedule as we go along. Hey, Chris, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, guys, thanks everyone. And we will talk to you when we see Mark down here for his winner's report. See you soon. Bye.
actual physical of the board.
Yeah.
So this isn't one of the lower end ones. This is one of the good ones.
Well,
The
it's
lower end
in-
ones are like the yellow cardboard ones. Yeah, we were trying to put things like this in the top tables because they didn't have a crease down the middle and they weren't made of cardboard. And then
Hey everyone, just a second here. We're going to bounce the stream down, be right back up with Mark Lee and Chris Garlock. Fresh off the victory. Fresh off the kill, I guess I should say. All right, stay tuned. We're just going to bounce the stream.